Imagine a scenario, if you will, where all the lights in the cities go out. You see a strange glowing cloud stretching across the sky. Far-fetched, you say? This was a very real scenario following the 1994 Northridge earthquake in Southern California. The reaction to seeing the Milky Way for the first time varied significantly for thousands of people. Some reacted out of fear, while others in awe. How would you react? In this episode, we will explore some hypothetical situations and ask, what if?
All right, everyone, we made it to Fort Deschartres in Prairie du Roche, Illinois. Like I said, we're going to do some night photography here and a fun Star Wars thing tonight once it gets dark. It's been about 10 years or so since I've been here last. I used to do. There's a big rendezvous here every year. First weekend after Memorial Day, and then they do another one usually in November. They have live musket shooting here, and then here behind me, one of these cannon ports, every hour, on the hour, they let off cannon. Scares the hell out of you, even if you know it's coming, right? But I used to do some of the reenactment here. This whole area behind me is nothing but army tents, as in 18th century army tents. There'll be French army here, there'll be British army here, Highlanders. We got reenactors playing First Nations here. It's really cool. It's literally like you step back in time. There's vendors galore. I could do a lot of damage here, money-wise. What I used to do actually was right here where I set my stuff. We would have a little encampment right there, and we would do period correct sword fighting. We would do demonstrations for people, for the crowd, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day, depending on the crowd. It was a lot of fun. I did that for 10 years. So yeah, major nerd here. Hauling that wagon was, that took a lot out of me. So let's take a look at the fort here before I start setting up and doing some other things. All right. They used to have, during the rendezvous, they used to have guards posted on either side of the door here. And if you were a high enough rank, sometimes they would salute as you would pass through these gates here. And I'll post some pictures of my time here. Got the powder magazine right there. I hope someday state of Illinois finishes rebuilding this place. It was, I believe, taken all the way down to the foundations by the locals after the fort was abandoned after the Revolution. So these two buildings back here, the barracks and stuff, there's a museum in here, and this here's the parade ground. And everybody would come, all the so-called armies would come marching in through here. There was a, out of St. Charles, a youth group that would do a drum and fife, and they were very, very good. It was always a good time. So if I can do it this year, I'll come out here, but you know, it's all about timing. So right over here in that the north arm, that's where they would put the cannon and set it off. So we'll climb the stairs here just real quick. Like I said, they haven't rebuilt the back part of the wall, or more or less the back half of the fort. But hopefully someday that changes. Get up here. It's really steep. Oh boy. All right, let's see if we can get down here without falling. These stairs are insanely steep. Almost straight up. All right, well, when the museums are closed, I'm not gonna bother walking over there. But time to get set up, and we'll get started for the evening. Hey guys, it is starting to get dark. I've done a lot of different shots around, trying to play around with the new lens I've got. We did some testing with the Insta360 X4. That was kind of fun. I don't know if some of that's going to turn out. It doesn't work too well in the dark, obviously, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I can play with it in post and it'll be okay. Getting ready to, as soon as the sky goes completely dark, I'll do my foreground shots here of the fort. What we're doing with this project is a hypothetical. It's a what if. What if we technologically come to a point where light pollution is no longer a problem, obviously, and I'll show the picture unedited so you can see. Obviously, well, we got clouds too, so that's not going to help, but actually it will help because it'll give you a better idea of how much light pollution really destroys everything. I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere, western Illinois, but St. Louis is only 30 miles to the north of us, northwest of us. That's not far enough to get away for light pollution. So what we're going to do is a hypothetical. What if either we fix the light pollution problem, or what if we turn the lights off for a night so that people can see what the night sky actually used to look like? So we're going to travel around the St. Louis area. We're going to get some of the more well-known locations like the Arch. We'll do the skyline of St. Louis from across the river. We'll do the Science Center. We'll go to a bunch of different places, and we'll see how it works. If the shot doesn't turn out like I want it to, we'll skip it. But we'll see how it goes. So this is the first one. It's the farthest away for me with my schedule. I wanted to do this one first, but also because this place has a lot of memories for me. So, and hopefully I'll get some of those pictures into the video so that you guys can see what what I used to get up to before this became everything. So let's get to this, and we'll go from there. Hey guys, Demos here. We're out at St. Louis International Airport, Lambert Field, working on a Milky Way project. Can't stay out here very long. Obviously, security doesn't like folks hanging around outside the wire after dark. And plus, this area that I'm in used to be an old neighborhood. The airport came in like the late 90s and bought everything out and then leveled everything. It was supposed to be a massive expansion for the airport, but now everything's gone, and this area has a bad reputation after dark. So I don't want to be out here longer than I have to. Obviously, I got one more stop tonight. Same situation. I don't want to be out here longer than I have to. So hopefully this picture turns out. I had high hopes for the last one. I haven't worked on them yet, kind of saving that to do all at once. So I will we'll end this one here, and I'll pick you up at the next one. See you guys. Coming on to maybe do a little push. Like I said, my goal this year is to hit 100 subscribers on my YouTube channel. We kind of had a little growth spurt after the last video, which is awesome to see. We are currently 16 subs away from 100. So if we can make that happen before the summer, that would be awesome. So like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. We're gonna try and put out more content like this. Now I've gotten some good feedback so far. So hopefully you guys enjoy this face-to-face content more than what I've been doing previously. So like I said, we're gonna keep working on it this year. And that's all I got. See you guys. Hey guys, we're back again. We are in Forest Park right now. We've already had a shady encounter. Vehicle that was parked in the parking lot over here behind me when I got here. Yeah, he didn't seem to be too appreciative of me coming in and parking in his lot. So he drove out of here without his lights on us. Anyway, probably nothing, but you never know. So we're at Forest Park. We are at the Science Center. It's one of my favorite places when I was a kid, so I thought we'd come and do this. It's the planetarium there, the blue building you just saw. That is the planetarium. It used to be the only Science Center building. Now there's another building on the other side of the highway where they've put most of the stuff. It was back in the day, back in the 80s and 90s. I know I'm old. It was a really cool place to be. There were all sorts of activities out here for kids to do, science related stuff. So anyway, it's a unique building. The shape of it, again, there you go. The shape of it is pretty unique. We got the sculpture here of Mr. I guess it's an alien, I don't know, staring skyward. So we're gonna incorporate that into our shot. For those of you that don't know, I do work in the aviation industry, and there is a Legacy Hornet just over here that we're gonna go to here next. C or D model. I don't remember. I'll know when I get over there. But I do currently build the wings for the Legacy Hornets. Currently have my last one for the Navy. We've got 3 coming in for Swiss that are kind of a nightmare, but we'll get them done. There's St. Louis County making their rounds. But let me get this shot here taken care of with the Science Center building and the looking skyward guy, and I'll pick you up on the. I got two more things I want to shoot here, so I want to be quick because again, it's not a safe place to be after dark. So pick you up here in a minute. All right, we're back here real quick. I'm standing in front of the Hornet here. This is a F-18D Hornet. In the Blue Angel mock-up. This was Angel number 7 for quite a while. I'll show you the tail number here. So the Blue Angels donated. Let me get this in focus here. There you go. Blue Angels donated this bird. When they retired it, they recently moved to Super Hornet E and F models. They thought, since this bird was built here in St. Louis, why not let people see it, right? So I'm gonna try and get see if I can incorporate the Milky Way in with this baby. This has always been my favorite fighter jet. I think she's beautiful. She's gloriously beautiful, but that's just me. I know she's got a lot of haters, but I am so blessed to be able to work on these birds. So we got one more spot to photograph. Wish I could get this whole thing in focus here. Maybe if I could do this. It's not what I wanted. Anyway, let's get back to where I was. All right. So anyway, we'll pick you guys up again at the next location after I'm finished here. All right, guys, this is the last one. It is really dark here, so I don't know if you'll be able to see what's going on here, but there are we'll just save it for the picture. This one will be awesome. This is the reason I came here, but I do have to start to hurry up. That suspicious vehicle did come back, so I'm gonna knock these out real quick and get the hell out of here. So hopefully this turns out the way I want it to. If it does, it's gonna be worth it. So we'll see you guys on the flip side.
On this night, I would end up stopping at 2 more iconic locations in Forest Park: the 1904 World's Fair Pavilion and the St. Louis Art Museum. Some weeks later, I would also travel to East St. Louis to capture the city skyline. I didn't film these locations because it was getting late and I wanted to be in and out quick. Before examining the end results, I need to outline some caveats. What you're about to see are not AI-generated images. I will never try to pass off an AI image as my own work, although I do use them as filler images for sequence that I don't have an image or footage for to further the story. I think most of them are pretty obvious, and that's done on purpose. The images you're about to see are, in fact, composite images. 90% of all night sky pictures are composite images in some form. Due to the limitations of photography, this is a necessity. Is it possible to do nightscapes without making a composite image? Sure, but it's much harder to achieve the same results. All locations were photographed in person over the course of 6 weeks. The Milky Way was photographed from the north shore of Lake Superior on one of my northern trips to get a clean sky. All of these photos are what I call impossible images, due to the borderline sky over the St. Louis metro. Even if we were able to see the Milky Way from these locations, we would not be able to see what the camera sees. It's the same with the aurora. The human eye cannot process low light as the camera does. While we can see the Milky Way in dark skies, we can only pick out the brightest parts. We cannot see the details or color. I made a considerable effort to position the Milky Way accurately in its proper location. A couple of them might be slightly off due to composition, but the difference would be negligible for the purpose of this project. Light pollution is an inevitable byproduct of our ever-expanding urban landscapes. The glow of street lamps, skyscraper windows, and billboards spills upwards, drowning out the delicate light of distant stars. In cities, the night sky is often painted with a persistent orange haze, making it nearly impossible to glimpse the Milky Way or even the brightest constellations. This loss isn't just aesthetic. It severs our connection to the cosmos, concealing the vastness that once awed and guided generations before us. The simple act of looking up and marveling at the universe becomes a rare privilege, often reserved for those who can escape the city's luminous embrace. Beyond its impact on our sense of wonder, light pollution also disrupts natural rhythms for both humans and wildlife. Many species rely on the darkness for navigation, reproduction, and protection from predators. And the perpetual twilight of urban areas can throw entire ecosystems into disarray. For people, the excess light can interfere with sleep patterns, contributing to health issues. Addressing light pollution involves not only rethinking how we illuminate our cities, but also recognizing the value of darkness itself, a precious resource that, once lost, is difficult to reclaim. As we strive for progress, it is essential to remember that our pursuit of brightness comes at the cost of losing touch with the star-filled sky above. If you want to learn more about light pollution, please check out darksky.org. I will post a link in the description. Also, my friends over at the Orbital Alliance, the Galactic Window podcast, also have a great interview with Don Ficken of Dark Sky, Missouri. I will also post a link to that episode in the description. Thank you all for watching. Just a reminder that I am pushing for 100 subs this year, and we are so close to hitting that goal. So comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, clear skies, everybody.